morning. Happy Friday. It is 7:30 on this Friday, February 16th, 2024. You made it to the end of the week. Welcome to Breakfast with Bridgett, live on News 6 Plus and clickorlando.com. And you know what? We're always pepped up on Fridays because we know that we're going to sleep in tomorrow. But we're looking forward to a very nice day outside as well. And meteorologist Candace Campos has been tracking these upcoming changes for the weekend. And so we shouldn't be caught off guard, Candace, that we will probably need some rain gear if we're going to go outside. I might just make it a lazy homebody weekend, but you can get out there. You just need to be prepared.
It was funny because I was talking to Steve here in between like our weather hits and stuff. I'm like, what can I do? I don't want to go someplace super crowded, but I want to do something where I have an option to go out of the house with the kids.
Mm-hmm.
So like bowling,
Yeah.
movie theater,
Arcade.
you the arcade, just things you need to kind of plan ahead of time. Now, with all that joking aside, though, if you live in and around areas that tend to be a little more prone to flooding with heavy rain, not the big time hurricane events, but you just live in those neighborhoods that the roads are going to get flooded, things like that. Today's going to be the day to plan accordingly, whether you need to prepare your yard a little better or whatever the case may be, because
The gutters,
we're not just going to see, we're not going to see just a soggy Saturday or a little rain ahead of a cold front. This is going to be kind of a 1-2 punch. We're watching a cold front that's coming through, and then it just pumps the brakes right over central Florida, and it picks up a low in the Gulf of Mexico and continues to slide all of that moisture basically all across the state for most of Saturday and for most of Sunday. It's President's Day weekend. A lot of people are off for a long holiday weekend, so it looks like 2/3 of your weekend not looking great. So let's show you the
don't
maps
get
here,
that
Bridgett.
mattress wet when you go get your mattress sale.
Oh, that's right. It's President's Day. It's the big mattress
All
sales.
those mattress
You're
sales.
right. Make
Maybe
sure
to
you cover
deliver
it
that
in
mattress on
plastic.
Monday, maybe.
Oh, that's funny. Yeah. I mean, yeah, do it Monday. That's probably a better idea. This is kind of what's going on. Today, it's a null day. It's mild. It's dry. We'll see a mix of sun and clouds. Nothing to write home about. But you can see there, here comes that area of low pressure to our north. You can see it right under the banner there. That area of low pressure and that trailing cold front making its way across the state. It's bringing cold air. It's bringing a snowstorm up across portions of the Midwest. But you can see within the last few frames, you see a little L pop up on the bottom there of your screen near Texas. Well, all of that will continue to basically come together and move into central Florida. So I love this graphic here because it shows that low picking up that front, picking up that low. And then you can see it just kind of trains over the area for hours on end. This is Sunday morning. That low still hasn't gotten here yet. That continues to go through the state into 1, 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. So this is going to be something we're going to have to watch for, not the potential of strong to severe weather, but for that flooding threat. Can't rule out a few gusty, moments of the afternoon and into the overnight in some of those stronger cells. But what you do want to know is that it is going to be a wet weekend. So I stopped the clock here at 7 a.m. because this is where kind of the onset of those scattered showers will start about daybreak on Saturday. Now you can see here modeling, there'll be some times throughout your Saturday that you'll be like, oh, it's good. Well, that's when you pull open your radar, you check your update from the meteorologist, which will be either Michelle or Samara over the weekend, and they'll be letting you know. You can see the radar, find out, I'm in a little bit of a pocket. So if you need to run to the grocery store or you want to get the kids out the door for a little bit, out in the backyard or whatever, you'll have moments of little drier spots, but then it looks like modeling is holding on to kind of more of a widespread surge of moisture starting into the evening Saturday, continuing all night. So it's going to be that pitter patter constantly throughout the overnight. And then Sunday morning, same story. That low will move through. Models have been holding on to some pretty heavy rain lingering over Brevard County. So Brevard County, if you're watching us, you're going to be in and around that area. An excessive rain alert is issued for you guys, a marginal risk for excessive rain, as some areas, especially in Brevard, will have that potential of staying upwards about 3 to 4 inches, again, in some isolated spots. And then this is 7 o'clock on Sunday. The rain is still there, but then we'll start to taper off into the overnight into Monday. So, with that being said, it's not only an inconvenient Saturday, but it's going to be an inconvenient weather weekend. It's not to the threshold of a weather alert day because the severe threat is not there, but I do want to make sure there's some designation for it because of that flooding threat. 1 to 3 inches will be possible between Saturday and Sunday because of the system. This is one of our many models. This one's picking up a pretty good amount of rain, upwards about 1 to almost 3 inches. You can see there along our coast. Could see the heaviest rain as that low continues to kind of linger offshore into Sunday. 7-day forecast. Oh, the Daytona 500. I'm sorry for those who are going out there. It's going to be dicey. You know what? I'm hoping that we can push it into later into the night, Sunday and Sunday night. Maybe we might be able to dry things out, but if it rains a little bit and they have to put the dryers out there, it takes another hour and a half to even dry the entire track. So it's not like a rain delay for a baseball game or a football game or anything like that. This is going to be one that's going to take a while to kind of get through the Daytona 500. But if you're off on President's Day, or as Bridget was mentioning, buying a mattress, because that's what you do on President's Day, we are going to see conditions much drier. Now, I also want to show you those temperatures. Saturday, it's going to be a mild day, but that cold front comes through, brings in the cool air along with more rain. So temperatures on Sunday, not only will we have to deal with the rain, but it's going to be kind of cold rain where highs are going to be staying in the 50s for the majority of the day. So I wish I had better news for holiday weekend, but it is what it is.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, the meteorologist and me will tell you we need the rain.
Yeah, we do.
We're seeing a deficit about 1 to 2 inches. So a little rain won't hurt us, but we just don't want to see anything flooding to the extent that flooding
Definitely.
is causing issues.
Well, good advice, clean out those gutters, get all the clippings and leaves and things out of the way so things can drain
Yeah.
if you're in those flood-prone streets and everything. But thank you, Candace. We'll try to. I'll try to enjoy it. I'll be a homebody, so
It'll be
good
nice.
luck.
It'll be cozy.
Yeah.
Plan ahead. Do
Yes.
some fun arts and crafts, bake a cake or something, and call it a weekend.
Yes. And good sleeping weather. Thank you, Candace.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we want to check in with Trooper Steve, see how those roads are looking, and I don't remember if we had any major problems this morning. How's it looking?
We're looking real good this morning, Bridget. Fridays are always pretty nice unless that one driver decides to mess it up for all of us. But
Yeah.
Fridays, I'll say it till I'm blue in the face. Post-COVID, I really believe a lot of people have gone to 4-day work weeks on the roadway because it is such an incredible difference. You would think we would still see it weekday stuff. But Fridays, hey, I'm not complaining. I know you're not complaining. If someone's complaining that there's no traffic, then we need to talk because things are nice. Things are nice out there. A few spotty things, but nothing for us to really be concerned about.
What are you up to today on patrol?
So today is kind of a continuation. I love doing checkups or follow-ups to things that we've spoken about because, hey, that's what we do. We kind of keep you in the loop with things. So obviously, I have been a part of the COPS Foundation for a few years now, the Concerns of Police Survivors, and they're hosting what they call the Blue Light Weekend. And it is a 2 to 3 day event for families of officers who have been killed in the line of duty, whether they're a coworker, a friend, or a family member, just simply a surviving family member or someone who's associated. And they do amazing things all year long. And today and tomorrow are the two big events. And I get to be the master of ceremonies for the gala tomorrow. And there's a lot of organizations that have kind of sponsored and have always been super supportive. So the Fraternal Order of Police, which is a union organization, but they're a 93 chapter here in the Orange County area, who's part of the Orange County Sheriff's Office. The president, Jeff Stinson, is the kind of representative of the union. He is going to join me today. Talk twofold. One, what do unions do for law enforcement officers? We speak about unions a lot in the corporate side of things, but when it comes to law enforcement officers, what do unions do, and why is this so important to them to support for the foundation, for the agency, and really for the law enforcement career, really?
All right. Well, that sounds great. I'm glad you're feeling better so you can do those events. And I just love that there is a support group there for, those families, colleagues, and friends that need it, that additional support always makes a big difference in the community. So it's great.
Yeah, they do some really, really awesome stuff. We're talking not just little things. They'll have
Hmm.
uh, big family kind of events out of state for a full week, and they invite families to come out, fully paid for. So it's really cool. And this is where we get to raise a lot of that money for those family members to be able to, let loose a little bit.
Yeah, I love that. That's great. Well, thank you so much, Steve. I got to run. Have a great weekend
Okay.
and be safe out there on
All
the
righty.
roads. All right. We
Bye.
have, bye. We talked about, what we're going to do this weekend, and we have a great event we want to tell you about through Goodwill. It is the Love Thrift event, and we have Stacy Taylor with us from Goodwill Industries. Good morning, Stacy.
Good morning.
So the weather's not looking great for getting out, but I know a lot of people are really getting started on the spring cleaning, which ties in great with this event you have kicking off tomorrow.
Yes. And so, chocolates melt and flowers wilt, but thrifting, that is a timeless love story. And it is a great way to show your love with an act of service, helping out your sweetheart to declutter, to sort, to organize, and drop off your donations this Saturday.
So, what are the items that you need the most for donation? I mean, you really take almost everything, but not everything, Stacy.
Not quite everything, but we are really in need of clothing.
And
Clothing tends to go super fast.
okay, and that's kids, adults, really pretty much any kind of clothing.
Yes, women's, men's, kids, uniforms, basically anything that you could wear, we probably would take it.
And there's a good promotion happening now where you can also get a discount to shop in the stores for your donations. How does that work?
Yes. So we are giving a coupon to all of our donors who come to the donation door, and they will get a coupon for $5 off of a purchase of $30 or more.
And I'm always amazed at the types of things you can find when you go thrifting, whether it is like many things that still have tags on them. I mean, just gently used items, and a lot of times, sometimes even great antiques, Stacy.
That's why it's a treasure hunt. And if you are into finding things and from the new to the nostalgic, you definitely want to be able to go to our stores every day and even go to multiple stores because there's always fresh product that is coming out of the production area, and so we are always thrilled to have a very packed store.
One thing that I ran into is some items that you don't take. And being a mom, there's a lot of stuff that comes into the house. So, when my kids transitioned into different car seats, and then like I took some of the rails off the beds or wanted to donate cribs, you don't take those types of items.
No, we don't. There are certain items that we cannot take, and all of that is listed on our website, goodwillcfl.org.
But when it comes to bedding and linens, towels, you take all of those things no matter the condition. Even if it has like a slight tear, you can even use those items, not to sell, but for some of your shipping and things like that, right?
Absolutely.
So there's a lot of things that we can keep out of the landfill by donating to Goodwill and other stores like that.
Yes, and sustainability is our love language. So when you're donating to Goodwill, you are actively diverting all of these items from the landfills. And last year alone, we diverted nearly 24 million pounds of textiles and other items that would have just stayed in the landfill.
So where do they go, those items that are unsellable but are donated?
They go to our aftermarket and salvage operations, and we partner with different aftermarket partners, and they are able to ship them into countries like Asia and South America, and they'll do things like extract the ink from from cloth. They will take the soles of the shoes that you have, and they'll use the rubber to make roads. So they try to
Wow.
extract every single ounce of value that they can, and we're lucky and we're grateful to be a part of that, and that's why we value our donors so much.
Can you talk about how it all works together? Because I know, over the years, some people have been, you know, had a bad taste in their mouth about their donated items being sold, but that's what powers many jobs through Goodwill and other things. Can you explain how that 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 system works, the trickle down effect of the donations helping others?
Yeah. So our neighbors and the people we serve are really at the core of everything that we do. And the goal is to be able to help every single person, every single team member identify and achieve their personal goals. So when you are donating, we take those donations, we process them, we sort, we tag them, put them onto the sales floor. When the shopper comes and buys that revenue goes to our mission programs and services, which are no cost to the community. So things like supported employment or on the job training, they're at no cost.
And what should people do if they need help? You know, what types of situations are you able to help people through? Like, who should reach out to the Goodwill for help and for assistance with different things? Because it's not just about donations, it's about the services you're able to provide the community through these centers operating. So, who are you serving in terms of those in need?
We are serving a vast population of those in need. So if somebody is in need of supportive services, they can view our website and they can sign up for that. And if they're looking for other community resources as well as resume writing or other career services, they can always call our Goodwill Connects line, or they could register for Goodwill Connects, and that is our virtual job connection team.
And a lot of people don't know about that, Stacy.
I know it's a strange secret that really shouldn't be a secret at all. But since COVID happened, we've had to transition just like everyone else has had to transition. But what that means is that we are so much more accessible to people being online, being from the phone, and it's really something that we've have embraced.
And so you have different types of centers. I know there's like an express place that's right by me near my Publix, and I'm able to just pull up and I actually go by two of them. And but there's different types of centers. Can you explain, what's open tomorrow and where we can drop things off versus where we can shop? Because you can't shop at all of the Goodwill sites.
That's absolutely correct. We have 16 Donation Express centers, and those are just convenient drive up, donate, drive away. And they are not connected to a store. So if you have a bit of too much temptation to shop and you just want to donate and go, that's probably where you're going to want to stop first. Our stores, we have 29 in our 6 county region, and they are going to be open and accepting donations. And from there, you can take your coupon that you receive on your donation receipt. You can go into the store and you can redeem it right then and there.
Where are some of the most popular sites to shop? Because I know, is the biggest location out off of Orange Blossom Trail, or is it somewhere else?
That's a very big location. It's actually undergoing a renovation, but we
Oh,
are
okay.
still open, so we do want our shoppers to come. Port Orange, Winter Garden, Vieira, um, Lady Lake, even out in the villages. Those are some really great stores, and they're also our newest stores that we were
Oh,
fortunate enough to have since 2020.
awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you, Stacy. So we can get out there. You said at there's which stores are 9 to 9 and which ones are 8 to 7. Can you go over that again tomorrow?
Yes, our retail stores, they are open from 9 a.m. until 9 p.m. And our Donation Express centers are open from 8 a.m. until 7 p.m.
And you have some Earth Month things coming up too.
Yes, so we are super excited about that. First, we're starting with spring break, and all of our Donation Express centers, we're going to have a month-long call to action to bring your donation, spring clean, and we want to take it. And then in April, we are going all out and we are celebrating Earth Month because sustainability is at the heart of what we do, and we want to be able to share that with everybody.
You know what, too, I want to mention, tax deadline comes up in April. These donations are tax deductible, but there are some things people should keep in mind if they want to use it as a tax deduction, right?
Absolutely. What we're doing is so important with the taxes. And we actually have a page on our site dedicated to helping you figure out how to use your tax deductible donations and use them to 2023 income taxes. And what you're going to want to do is save your donation receipts, bring them to your CPA or your accountant, and they will know what to do with them. That is your record, and it's always a good idea to keep it on hand in a safe place because that adds up.
It does. It does. Well, Stacy, thank you so much. And you know what? There's no trash. It's all treasure. It just depends on who has it, right?
And it's not just a crush; it's thrift love.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Have a great weekend. Hopefully, I can get some things out there to Goodwill tomorrow.
I'll see you on Saturday,
All
tomorrow.
righty. Take care. We'll take a quick break. We'll be right back with photojournalist Corey Murray, host of Black Men Sundays podcast, and a preview of what's coming up this Sunday. Oh, and Corey, are you there? Is Corey there? Good morning. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday. How you doing?
Oh, good. How are you? I heard that you have some great information in terms of health being wealth this Sunday.
Definitely. Well, health is wealth. Black Men Sundays, we talk about generational wealth, mental health, finance, and business. But this week, mental health is health. So I have Stacey Perrin comes back on our show. She came on last month, and I want to break some news on here. Black Men Sundays, we've partnered with the Boys and Girls Club of Central Florida for a turkey drive. We also partnered with the Mental Health Association of Central Florida. I feel like it's important to have this mental health conversation. Again, you're going to hear me say this time after time. Mental health is health. So what does this partnership consist of? It consists of at least once a quarter, whether it's Stacey Perrin or somebody from the Mental Health Association of Central Florida as an expert comes on our show and gives us some gems. So you might remember Stacey Perrin.
Yes,
She's
I
a
do.
licensed
Yeah.
clinical social worker. She's also the director of the Mental Health Association of Central Florida's Youth and Family Services Program. The importance about that is, when we're talking about medication management, when we're talking about just ways of being able to, if you need somebody to talk to, you can go to Mental Health Association's website. They have a connector site, and they can connect you to, a mental health specialist. And, it's funny well, it's not funny, but it's just the way our universe works, right? I interviewed her on Sunday, and I realized that I'm going to be sitting in her office on Wednesday. I had a brother of mine. I'm not going to say how he passed away, but a brother of mine passed away. It was a really rough week for me. You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm sorry to
Wednesday and
hear
Thursday, I
that.
didn't even come to work. But at the same time, we already had her interview going. And I've never gone to see any mental health specialist. I
Right.
may interview them on my show,
Yeah.
but I've never had that need, and I had that need this week. So, let's talk about today. Let's talk about this week's show. It's dropping midnight, all podcast platforms. We're talking about, and a lot of it came from you, Bridgett. The last time when we talked about mental health, you asked a question about the faith-based community. You
Yes.
got me up
Yes.
a little early, my tongue a little slow. I haven't had my coffee yet. But yeah, we're talking about the faith-based community, right? So coming out the gates, I had to ask her, I said, how does the faith-based community help aid in mental health? Let's roll that soundbite.
There was a study done pretty recently, like during the height of the COVID pandemic, and it was a study of 408 healthcare workers on the front lines. And what they looked at was healthcare workers that had some type of faith involvement, whether it was Catholic, Christian, Taoist, Buddhist, and their responses, they didn't have, their perception of the stressfulness was much less because they had that grounding and that resilience that comes from being part of a faith-based community. There was
Definitely. And the important part about that conversation, me being a photojournalist, we were out there. We saw a lot of nurses, but once you're that nurse and you're in the room with someone with COVID, they're passing away, right? That's immediate trauma. So that statistic, that analysis that she gave about that study, that's really important. So yes, so for people out there that don't really believe that mental health is health, I'm telling you, mental health is health. We also talk about, for people that are apprehensive about getting a mental health evaluation, about just seeing a mental health specialist in the
Right.
beginning. Like I said, this was my first time ever like having this conversation where it was me that she was talking to versus me being a host of Black Men Sundays. We also talk about, you know, what does a mental health evaluation consist of? What if you're disconnected and you have trauma? How does that work? Which we know
Mm-hmm.
that's not a positive thing. We also talk about, we talk about generational wealth. We talk about um, relationship traumas. Because, I
Mm-hmm.
know a lot of brothers, they carry that relationship trauma to the next
Mm-hmm.
relationship,
Mm-hmm.
and then it doesn't work out. We also talk about emotional intelligence,
Right.
resilience, and how that can aid in creating and establishing generational wealth. Because I'm a kid from the 70s, but from the 90s, one of my favorite artists said, how you gonna win when you ain't right within?
Yeah.
Let's go.
Well, I like it, Corey, and I'm really excited that you're, incorporating that regularly. And I think that, our generation is definitely a part of a new wave of integrating that mind, body, spiritual health component all working together. So that's awesome. I'm glad you took that step to talk to someone because that makes it so much easier to communicate the next time with those around you and with a professional if you need to, because life be lifing, as the kids say, right?
Yeah, yeah. And one thing about life is beautiful, but
Mm-hmm.
it's a lot of lows that
Yeah.
you're gonna go through in life. It's not gonna be all, it's not gonna be hot peas and
Yeah.
butter every day, so definitely,
Oh, Corey, I gotta go. They're standing over me. We went over on our time, but we'll be looking for the podcast bright and early Sunday.
definitely. Happy Friday, Bridget.
Happy Friday, Corey. Take care. We hope you have a great weekend. Get out, donate some stuff at Goodwill on tomorrow if you can in that rain. Be safe, and we'll see you back here Monday at 7:30 for President's Day.